that? I do. All right. So ROP has adopted what we call the SMART method. As Josh pointed out earlier, SMART is misspelled. It's not SMART as the word; it's an acronym. But we'll start off just by a little quote from Steve Jobs, and the quote's basically saying that you really to do great, passionate work, you gotta love what you do. So we gotta really identify what it is that we're good at, what we enjoy, and try and match that up with careers. So that's kind of our goal today: get some ideas of what we're good at, what we enjoy, what we're not good at, what we don't enjoy, and we're going to use a database to try to pin down a few careers that we might want to consider. So, SMART. The S stands for being self-aware, and we want to be M for motivated. A is for positive attitude. R for responsible. T for time management, and second team for team leader and player. So we've identified basically no matter what occupation you pursue, these are the kind of 6 things that will, that employers are most likely looking for, and the 6 traits that may make you the most successful. Now we all have our strengths and weaknesses, so today's purpose is to go through and figure out which of these we identify with the most. So, self-aware, basically understanding who we are, and a lot of times when we want to know what our strengths are, we want to be able to accurately talk about our strengths, especially in a job interview. So a lot of people feel uncomfortable doing that at first. It sounds like bragging, but it's not. I mean, a job interview is a situation where you are supposed to really focus on what your strengths are. So once we kind of practice doing that, we'll be more and more comfortable talking about what it is that we do well. You also want to know your strengths and weaknesses. Secondly, motivation. This can kind of tell me what motivation is. Pretty straightforward. Anybody who's motivated to describe motivation? Jeremy, you look motivated.
You know the journey.
What does motivation mean?
It means that we have the strength to push through with a project.
Okay, very good. So strength, determination. Kind of good word there we're looking for. Motivation. People are really motivated. Tend to want to constantly be improving themselves. So to achieve our goals, we obviously need to attain knowledge and skill that we don't necessarily have today. So we want to really focus on constantly growing ourselves. And just being eager to do a good job. Attitude. Attitude, obviously critical to success. So who's tell me what attitude in the context of employment would be of benefit? Brittany, how about you?
Positive attitude.
Yeah, so what does that mean, have a positive attitude?
To like put forth all effort.
What's that?
To like put forth all effort.
Yeah. Somebody else with attitude specifically?
To be happy like what you're doing, like happy to be there, happy to do your job.
Yeah, there you go. Actually, yeah, that usually comes with just kind of enjoying your work, but yeah, people have a good attitude. They just seem like happier people. Yeah, absolutely. Having a good attitude, just kind of knowing that you can achieve success. So you got somebody with the right attitude in the job, and no matter what obstacles get in their way, they know that they can overcome that and get the job done. Also enjoy just doing the job well. So if people have the right attitude, have pride in their work, and want to get things done. And then people have good attitudes. It's usually most easy to see just in the way they speak. So their comments obviously reflect their attitudes. So going to our R for responsibility. So in the context of an occupation, why would somebody want to hire someone who's responsible? Tony.
What?
Well, what?
Yeah.
That's how they say it on the street.
Yeah, you would know, huh?
I should tackle this one.
Responsibility?
Yeah, what does it mean to be responsible?
Responsibility
paying attention.
means to take care of your situations.
All right, so taking ownership.
Yeah.
Right. All right. Very good. Very good. Yeah. So saying, these are the things that I got to do and getting them done. Something else. Josh.
Yeah.
Responsibility. What? What's another example of responsibility? Why would somebody want to hire someone who's responsible?
Doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah. There you go. They know that I can give you a task. You're gonna do it and get it done. So being dependable, reliable. And then another good thing about people that tend to be responsible, they don't blame others. They realize when they screw up that they take ownership of the problem. Say, hey, I screwed up. This is what I'm gonna do to make it right. And then I also think of people who are really responsible as overcoming obstacles. So it's like, hey, you didn't get the job done. Why not? It was raining and I hit some traffic and my dog ate my homework and that kind of stuff. People who are responsible really don't have excuses like that. Those things certainly happen to them, but they still do what it takes to get the job done. Another one is time management. So what's time management?
Not procrastinating on the deadline.
Exactly. So not procrastinating. And that comes with just good planning, creating your plan and prioritizing accordingly to get stuff done. Also, good time management is knowing how much time it's going to take to get something done and planning accordingly. So, one of the philosophies I've always had in business is what they call under-promise and over-deliver. So, client says, when can you get this done by? I'm going to think in my mind I can get it done in a week, but I'll say, hey, would 2 weeks work for you? And they say, that would be great. And then I get it done in a week, and they're happy. I don't want to say, I think I can get it done in a week, and then something comes up, can't get it done in time. So
Set your goals low and they're really easy to pass.
Well, it's about setting realistic expectations and then meeting those expectations. And a lot of that really comes with good time management. And fourth quarter is a huge amount of the class is going to be dedicated to time management. I think it's really one of the keys to success and something that high school students, really don't have a lot of opportunity to really do. I mean, you're given an assignment that's due in a week, and you can wait till Thursday night and still turn it in Friday. So teachers also are resistant to give long-term assignments to students because they know that's what's going to happen. So our second semester final in this class will actually be a 6-week project that each of you will select, and time management is going to be a critical component of that to make sure that everybody meets their own project deadlines. So that'll be a lot of fun. And another trick to time management is really breaking tasks down to smaller elements that you can do. So for our 6-week final project, we're going to break that into tasks and then break those into subtasks and finally break everything down to each little step. So instead of just saying, we're going to walk a mile, we're going to describe each step that we're going to take and make sure that we have all those steps mapped out over time. Time management is really about creating a plan that works and keeping to it. So that comes a lot back down to not procrastinating. So taking a plan and working it. Quite often with our final projects, we'll map out a whole plan, and every day will be mapped out, and the student will say, I'm going to start with whatever the funnest thing is to do, and then they do that for a few weeks, and then their whole project is now destroyed. So it's really about creating a plan, knowing that plan's going to work, and then following that plan every day. And then our last T, since the SMART, there's 2 T's there, team player. So what does team player mean?
Working well with
Exactly, really working well with others. So you want to really encourage and support others in the team. Often working in a team, people share responsibility. So stepping up to leadership roles when appropriate, but then also working well with the team, following direction, and taking responsibility for your part of the project and ensuring that you do that as well. So some of the team stuff that we'll do in this class, starting later next quarter, I guess. We'll start doing some more team projects, and the way team projects work is we get together, we collaborate, decide who's going to do what, and split off, do the work, and then come back. So it's critical that people do their parts of the project, otherwise the whole thing will fail. So being good team players is critical. And then being able to effectively communicate. Working well on a team is really about communication. If you're doing your task and it looks like you aren't going to be able to finish your task in time, or you need additional resources being brought in, it's critical that you communicate that so your team knows where they stand with the project and can make adjustments accordingly. So our next step is to go through a worksheet. So on today's assignment, the SMART workshop, there's a spreadsheet that many of you already have pulled up, which was great. So what you want to do is start with the second page of that worksheet, which is a rubric. And the rubric, there's no right or wrong answers. You just want to go through each rubric and see where you rank in that. And then you go through and fill out the front sheet. Then we'll kind of compare notes a little bit. And then regroup in a moment. So everyone should be going through and filling out that rubric right now. I'll show you what it looks like. So here is the sheet that you should be working on. And right here is the rubric. So just go through and hit these little bubbles. And so you know, you actually don't want to do what I just did, which is I'm editing this PDF in Safari. You actually want to open it up in Acrobat, otherwise it won't save your work. I think that's what we figured out last year. So the way to do that is when you move your mouse kind of to the bottom center of your screen in Safari, it comes up with this sort of PDF thing where you can zoom in and zoom out. And there's this one thing that looks like two pieces of paper with a little magnifying glass. You'll click on that, and that will actually open up.
We don't have that.
Really?
No. Yeah, we don't.
Google Chrome works too.
What works?
Google Chrome.
Well, so the test is it looks like it works, but if I actually go and save this, it's not going to save my edits.
It saves your edits.
In Chrome? Okay. So you can use Chrome,
Yeah.
according to Jeremy. If it doesn't work, blame him. Otherwise, my understanding in Safari, if you're looking at the PDF in Safari, you go down here at the bottom and you click this little icon. It looks like two pieces of paper. And that will then open up. And you know you're doing it right if in the upper left-hand corner it says Acrobat.
It says it wants a code for Acrobat.
What?
It's Adobe Acrobat Pro. You guys know it's putting the serial number yet.